We're going 95 and a 60. Welcome back to the highway. Um, I wanted to address some things because I've been thinking about what's been going on due to recent events. Um, and as we could clearly see, we need help out here. And that help comes in the form of people not just marching anymore because we're not in the 60s anymore where all we could do was march. Um, and after we lost a lot, we won a lot of battles, but after we've lost a lot of stuff too, I mean, it's crazy to think that people are out there protesting right now for this decision, and it's become almost like a thing of it's not performative, and yet it still feels like it's being treated as though it is. And a lot of people are not trying to sit here and be out here and miss work and not go to wherever they're supposed to be at because they just want to try to fight the man. But the issue is that this is something that needs to be addressed in the ballot box, in the seats in the House, in courts, in towns, in cities, because clearly it's up to the states now. So now, everywhere down, we're going to have to worry about different legislation. And in my mind, this just gets me thinking about if there's something that should be a unanimous thing that everybody should be doing. um, I would say by the time you are in college, you should be politically active. And me thinking back now, I mean, even when I was in college when, Obama got elected. And I was in there shucking too because, it's crazy to see somebody that looks similar to me, not all the way, but it's crazy to see somebody of my complexion being able to stand at the top of the country per se, because let's be honest, most of the real decisions happen in the Supreme Court, even though the president is just the person that kind of delegates it out to the people and is kind of the face of the country. But the fact that this ruling happened just reaffirms to me that there's more that has to be done on the ground, and it's more than just standing outside of the building that got raided on January 6th and trying to be peaceful. It's it's to the point where you have to now think, how am I going to ingrain myself into this political scope and not lose what it seems that everybody has lost the further they go up in this career? Because there's people that are in there now that are fighting the good fight, but they can only do so much. And what makes me very what makes me feel very weird is that we have somebody as young as I am, AOC, and she's very intense about what she wants with her career and what she wants to do. But it's crazy that she's kind of just been, and I'm not saying that she hasn't spoken up about this because I feel like somewhere, someplace she has, but it's crazy that she made her way in and now she has to kind of hold her tongue. It feels like you get in there to try to change some stuff and then you find out that you just have to be a cog now. And it's like all of the things that seem like it's a simple fix has to be ran through millions of documents and legislation and different types of loopholes and jump arounds to get to a goal that's literally just across the street. It's like the idea of if there's a store a block away, if you walk there, you can go straight there. But they're forcing you to get in a car, or they're forcing you to take public transit that has a line that it has to go on, and you have to now follow this line begrudgingly and wait until you get to your stop just to get off to get to a place that's right there. It's not far and it's not that hard. And the definitions that they're having trouble deciding, and the reason why I feel like this got overturned is just, it's phenomenal to me because you know what this does to people. So it just leans back to me thinking now, um, on this Wisdom Wednesdays, and the lesson that I've learned in these couple of weeks. We gotta, we as a people have to find whatever courage, whatever grit, whatever tenacity that a conservative party has to be able to, for 50 years, bide their time and dance like idiots in front of people, having them make fun of them, having them call them crazy, having them do all of these things to then succeed. We have to find some type of grit. And my thing is that I say it to myself all the time. If you ever want to see a time when America really was feeling like it was about to truly achieve the American dream, the 60s. Look at all of the activism, look at all of the movements, the marches, the people. The 60s, from 60 to 69 to 70 almost. Look at every person, activist, leader, politician. Just look at all of them through the 60s and look at how much progress, while being stomped on, they were able to create for people. And frankly, people of my complexion, a lot of it was for us. And the thing about it is that as I've noticed and as I know, a lot of this, a lot of these freedoms that America likes to boast is freedoms that a lot of us don't get to enjoy, but a good few of us were trying their best to try to get everyone to enjoy. And I feel like in my community and even me, there has to be a concise and consistent and vigilant effort to get people of my complexion, black people, people of color, to really be able to have a real foothold in this game. Because as you can clearly see, if we don't have a foothold, even though we're making strides to get people in powerful positions, but if we don't have a foothold, it's anything else that wants to be something here, we know what it looks like. Because we're the example of what failing and what a failing system looks like when it how it treats its people. We know what it looks like. We we know it intimately, how a system that can fail a people looks like. And while there's a lot of people who will try to mitigate the things that are truly happening around communities and try to say that, no, this isn't real, you just have to try harder, this, and that, there's still a plethora of things that permeate through our democracy that undermines not only this dream that America is supposed to have and supposed to live, but also this big lie that they keep telling the mass people. And something that I picked up because I was talking to my mom the other day. She gave me a word where she let me know that in my life there were things that I did not strive for. And I'll agree. I have my own reasons for why I didn't follow or I didn't pursue certain things. I feel that it was because of my demeanor and how I was almost trained to be. Um, so there's a level of defiance that has to come out of you to be able to do something that people either say you can't do or don't want you to do because it messes up what they're doing. And I always fell into the trap of I wanted to make sure that I wasn't getting in the way of somebody else's path that they were on. But she informed me something that was really critical. And she was telling me how when she was my age, she was able to do so many more things. And when we talked, I got her to understand that it was because she managed to be lucky enough to have found a decent job that was paying her much more money than I was getting paid at those same ages. She also had to take care of my older sister and then me. So there were some priorities that were detrimental in her life, and she could not give up on those specific things. Where in my life, I don't have specific things like that that are anchoring me to a need to strive for something, which I still feel like isn't an excuse. But then she was also telling me about how, I have younger cousins that are making their way into well-paying positions. And then she also corrected herself in saying that, but they got to those positions because of the fact that their parent or their relative was able to give them a leg up in that aspect of their life, which was something that I was trying to get her to understand. And it's something that I think the black community as a whole does not have the ability to do. We haven't been able to create enough wealth to be able to create connections, to be able to create a certain level of infrastructure that allows us, as some of these Ivy Leaguers get to do, a fast track to a career that is sturdy and that we can get focused on what we need to do. We're very much entrenched, I should say, in this struggle culture where we constantly have to fight just to keep a roof over our head, just to keep food. Now it's just to keep gas in the car. Everything is a fight. And when you're constantly fighting just to live, you don't have time to use your brain to become something more. You don't have time to elevate yourself or learn a new skill or find out that something that you're doing isn't really what your path is going to be in life. You don't have time to figure out those things because you don't have the room to do that. And that's infrastructure that we just don't have. And looking back on my life, I can say that while I'm very, very lucky in my different aspects of my life, and I was able to grow up comfortably, go to college, and, be able to survive well into my now 30s, I still think that there were some things that needed to be in my life that wasn't there. And with my parents not having the ability to know what way or how to even help me achieve something that I might have wanted. Also, them not knowing who or what connections they would need or be able to use to give me a leg up in specific situations. I can say that, and no fault of theirs, but I can say that I didn't have that ability to leverage my situation into a better one. But all I have to say is that the wisdom is telling me that there's a fight happening. There's a fight that's been going on, there's a fight in the background, and there's a war that has been happening to us and with us for so long that it's like we forgot we were on a battlefield. And a lot of us are just trying to find a ditch, a trench, somewhere with some cover to just hide from the bombshells for 5 minutes. We don't have time to win the war because we are too busy running through too many landmines. And I think that when you have people that are constantly trying to do things that are only going to benefit them, but we have a slogan that says we're doing things to benefit the greater, I think we need people to step up and figure out how we're going to get these people out of these positions, how we're going to move these people out of these places, and how we're going to actually get this country to operate like it says it's operating and not how it projects itself to the rest of the world. But at the end of the day, we have only one sky. And whether that sky stays up there or falls is